What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Action Sunday, and of course, I hope you all are enjoying your day. And of course, I am counting down the weeks to my big 200th episode. It's getting ever closer. Okay, it's almost upon me. I'm getting excited. So, and of course, just a reminder: you still have time to vote. Okay. You have a choice of 2 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies for me to review for my 200th, all right? That's T2 or Total Recall. So please cast your votes in the comment sections below, in any video from weeks past, or just send me your votes directly. Because again, I don't want to wait. I want to make sure I get a finite, a tally of votes. I'm also putting out my message over on my followers on Facebook and all my social media. Of course, if you guys want to follow me on social media, follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I no longer have Twitter, so that's something another story. But anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty. So, and speaking of Schwarzenegger today, let's talk another Schwarzenegger movie, and that is Commando. Oh yes. I've said this in the past in a video that this is one of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies, and for a couple of reasons. One is the epitome of like testosterone fueled, just out of this no nonsense action movies out there, and you got Arnold Schwarzenegger beefed up as always, kicking some serious ass. And number 2, it's also produced by Joel Silver. Notice a trend here. Last week I talked about The Last Boy Scout, which of course everyone said was a nightmare to work with. Here, this is a very special one, because to me I feel like this is one of the movies that kind of put Joel Silver on the map in a way. Like in terms of box office success, between this and Die Hard and several others. So expect maybe a trend of some Joel Silver related videos, maybe. I don't know. I'll jump back and forth. And of course, what makes Commando even more special, you guys can envy me for this. I have Bennett's autograph, actually signed by Vernon Wells. So yes, guys. This makes me more cool, the fact that I have Vernon Wells' autograph, because I really liked him. That's another reason that I really enjoyed about this movie, which was the villain. Okay, Bennett was just a batshit, off the rails, just insane villain, and of course he had some of the best dialogue in the movie, especially that line that you saw on the thing. Even though it's for me, but anyway, for anybody that has never seen Commando, Jesus fucking Christ, where have you been living? All right. So Commando follows John Matrix. What happens is he's called to action after a group of, rogue commandos or mercenaries kidnap his daughter, played by Alyssa Milano. That's the story for another day. But then, of course, he has to listen to them or pay the price. So essentially, he just goes on this, spree of trying to get her back, and essentially he heads off to the fictional country of Val Verde. And of course, keep that in mind, because I'm going to come back to that a little bit. And from there, he fully goes into the Rambo / last superhero phase of the movie. I call it the superhero phase because, hey, he's all beefed up. He's got the gear. He's got Ray Dog Chen. That's the girl he ends up. Well, I wouldn't say he kidnaps. He kind of meets. So I don't know. Depending how you look at it, there's some really incredible moments or crazy moments throughout this movie where you make you think about, wait a minute, isn't he technically breaking the law? But you realize, no, he's doing this for the good of his country, no matter what happens. Okay, and by the end, you're like, hell yes, I knew this was your work, Rick. You double thumbs up. He is the freaking hero. But yeah, man, just seeing Schwarzenegger kick some ass. This is Schwarzenegger in his purest form and in pure dynamite form. All right. Now, as for the rest of the cast, I feel like they did a good job, especially Vernon Wells. I really loved the character of Bennett. To me, like, if you ask anyone, Bennett would probably be one of their best villains on their list, because just how, like I said, he's crazy, but he has some crazy and some. But even though he's more of an underling, but he's doing this for a certain purpose, and the fact that every which turn, it's he feels like he's one upped him, but in the end, and I don't want to give away, but the fight between him and Matrix is just insane. Classic hand-to-hand combat, or knife-to-knife, if you want to think about it. Now, as for the rest of the stuff, I really like this because this whole fictional saying of in the jungle or the country of Val Verde, because if you kind of think about it, around this time, think about this. Around the time that this movie dropped, we were in the midst of the Cold War, USA versus the Soviet Union, Reagan versus Gorbachev, okay? And since tensions were high between the two nations, it was clever for them to create our own fictional country, which was Val Verde. And believe it or not, this country appears not just in this movie, but in other movies. So yes, folks, this movie, I would say, it's kind of like, I would say, not really a nucleus. I feel like this one is kind of the Kickstarter of a secret, expanded cinematic universe from 20th Century Fox. Because you got this, you got Predator, keep that in mind. Yes, think about this. You have two characters played by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the same universe. Think about that for a sec. You got that. You got Die Hard. You got Speed. And eventually, the alien movies, because, well, if you kind of think about the aliens and predators, that kind of thing, but you get my point. And there's another movie, which I will be getting to, and that's Ricochet, because there's a character in another Joel Silver production that appears in that movie. So, yeah, all these movies are intertwined in some way. And to me, this is the one that kind of started it all. And to me, I tipped the hat to the writing staff, tipped the hat to Joel Silver and Brian De Palma, everyone that, I would call of the 20th Century Fox, guild, as I call it, because what they did was create a new world, an alternate reality of a fictional country with a good cast of fictional characters, a good universe of corporations, all this. Think about that. Like everything I just said, you got all these elements that essentially create an amazing cinematic universe. And I really think everyone should at least see at least one of those good movies, no matter where it's something from that stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, or better yet, if it has Joel Silver's name tied to work, it might be good or bad, depending on how you look at it. In case of Last Boy Scout, that's a different story. But overall, Commando is the one that really made Arnold a household name. It's your typical popcorn flick, and I don't think anyone should ever pass up on seeing Commando because it's just that good. And of course, a good one-liner I have to bring up. Promised to tell you last, Sully. I lied. They just drops him. I love it. Okay, which by the way, they actually strung him up on a crane. I don't know if anybody knew that. They had to do that for David Patrick Kelly because Arnold was actually having a hard time trying to grip him by his ankle. Bet y'all didn't know that. Yeah, that's the only behind the scenes little tidbit I can get for you. Besides that and the Valverde thing, but yeah, overall, seriously, Commando is a gem and a great action film that I don't think anyone should pass up. Seriously, give it a watch if you've never ever seen it. Seriously, for the love of Batman, this is one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. And with that in mind, I'm going to give Commando a 9.5 out of 10. I like it just because it's Schwarzenegger. You have all that, the fact that this is the beginning of something amazing that no one ever thought of in the history of cinema, especially under the 20th Century Fox banner. All right, that's it for this week. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos.